Imagine turning a small workshop into a $40 million empire, becoming one of the most famous faces on television, with millions of people watching your every move. Now imagine losing all of it, while those same millions watch it happen in real time. That's exactly what happened to Orange County Choppers. What started as a family business turned into one of the biggest reality TV success stories ever. But behind the fame, something was breaking. And in the end, it wasn't competition that destroyed the company. It was something much closer to home, the beginning. In 1999, a man named Paul Tutul Sr. started a small business. He worked out of the basement of his ironworks company in Montgomery, New York. He was not just a businessman, he was a craftsman with a deep love for metal and motorcycles. He wanted to build something different. He envisioned bikes that were not just machines for transportation. He saw them as rolling pieces of art. He called his new venture Orange County Choppers, or OCC. This small shop was the humble beginning. It would become a global phenomenon, a brand known far beyond chopper fans. At first, the shop was just that, a shop, filled with the noise of grinding metal and the roar of engines. The work was dirty, loud, intensely hands-on. Paul Sr. and his team created motorcycles that were unmistakable, big, bold, often built around a specific theme. These were not bikes for the average rider. Everything changed. In the year 2003, a producer from the Discovery Channel saw the potential for a reality show centered on the noisy, high-stakes world of OCC. The show was given a simple, direct name, American Chopper. It premiered in September and immediately captured the public's imagination. The series did something brilliant. It didn't just show the meticulous process of building a custom motorcycle from scratch. It also turned the cameras on the people who were building them. The show documented the creative process, the client meetings, the tight deadlines, and, most importantly, the constant, explosive arguments. The appeal of American Chopper was multifaceted. For motor enthusiasts, it was a fascinating look behind the curtain of a high-end custom shop. They could watch as raw steel was cut, bent, and welded into intricate frames and fenders. But for the wider audience, the show was a compelling family drama. Paul Tutul Sr., Paul Tutul Jr., their relationship was a volatile mix of love, respect, and relentless conflict. Yes, the success of American Chopper transformed Orange County Choppers from a custom bike shop into a sprawling commercial empire, close-up gleaming chrome, then cramped basement workshop to sprawling HQ. The period from roughly 2004 to 2008 was the company's golden age. The revenue generated by the television show was immense. It was dwarfed by the financial opportunities that came with their celebrity status. The OCC brand was suddenly everywhere. The company moved into a massive state-of-the-art headquarters in Newburgh, New York, part factory, part television studio, part tourist attraction. During these peak years, OCC was much more than a motorcycle company. It was a full-fledged lifestyle brand. They launched a massive merchandising operation: t-shirts, hats, die-cast models, OCC logo licensing, video games, clothing lines, branded steakhouse. The Tutals became sought-after personalities, paid public appearances, commercials. At its zenith, OCC was estimated to be worth tens of millions, with some reports suggesting annual revenues approaching 40 million. The bikes became even more ambitious and high-profile. Commission builds, Microsoft, Lincoln, Will Smith, Jay Leno. They were rich, famous, and at the top of their industry. The on-screen family drama was, for a time, overshadowed by their success. While the fights between Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. made for great television, they were not just for show. The conflict was real, and it grew more intense as the years went on. The core of their disagreement was a classic clash of personalities and business philosophies. Paul Sr. was the old-school boss, demanding punctuality, demanding discipline, demanding respect for his authority. Paul Jr., on the other hand, was the creative artist. His focus was on design and innovation, and he often chafed under his father's rigid rules, which he felt stifled his creative process. This fundamental difference in their approaches created constant friction. The arguments that viewers saw on American Chopper began to escalate in severity. What started as shouting matches about bike parts and work habits slowly morphed into deeply personal attacks. The pressure of fame, money, and running a massive business exacerbated their already strained relationship. The cameras captured it all, turning their private family struggle into a public spectacle. For a long time, this drama fueled the show's ratings, creating a vicious cycle. The more they fought, the more people watched, and the more pressure they were under to deliver the very drama that was tearing their family and their business apart. The breaking point came in 2009. During a particularly heated argument, Paul Sr. fired his own son, Paul Jr., Following his dramatic firing, Paul Jr. did not simply disappear. He leveraged his fame and design talent and started a competing business just down the road. He called it Paul Jr. Designs, PJD. This move transformed the family feud into a direct business rivalry. The narrative of American Chopper shifted. Senior versus Junior. Cameras followed two separate shops competing for clients and bragging rights. The new format kept drama alive, but a bigger threat was looming. The global financial crisis of 2008 arrived with a delayed, devastating impact. Luxury goods sales fell. The six-figure choppers were discretionary buys. As the economy tightened, corporations slashed marketing budgets. Wealthy individuals grew more cautious. Demand for extravagant choppers began to dry up. Their business model relied heavily on fame and TV income. When viewership declined, that revenue stream shrank. At the same time, high-end choppers became harder to sell. OCC faced crisis on two fronts: fractured brand identity and a shrinking market. A business in crisis needs unified leadership. Instead, OCC was consumed by legal battles and personal animosity. The years following the peak of their fame were marked by a slow and painful decline for Orange County choppers. The massive headquarters, once a symbol of success, became a significant financial burden. The costs to heat, light, and maintain such a large facility were enormous, and with revenue streams drying up, the building became an albatross around the company's neck. Reports of financial trouble and mounting debt began to surface. Legal problems compounded the financial woes. The constant state of conflict took a toll on morale and made it difficult to run a stable operation. The brand, once synonymous with cutting-edge cool, was now increasingly associated with family dysfunction and financial distress. The inevitable finally happened in 2018. Paul Tootle Sr. filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. It was a stunning fall from grace. The chrome-plated kingdom had crumbled. Today, the story of Orange County choppers serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the volatile mix of family, business, and fame. Paul Tootle Sr. eventually moved his operations to Florida to a much smaller facility, continuing to build bikes under the OCC name but on a far more modest scale. Paul Jr. continues to run Paul Jr. Designs, taking on creative projects and building custom bikes for a loyal clientele. Orange County Choppers is a story about family, fame, ego, and what happens when business and personal conflict collide. And if you think this was the most dramatic business collapse, wait until you see what happened to Xbox.